Namaskar. Hello everyone. I'm Jayashri Talukdar from Ashwatha Edu-hub. Actually, I had been thinking of making this video since the past few days, but like you all, I also have the habit of procrastination and I was like delaying it. Not today, not today. But finally I said, okay, today is 20th of January. I cannot delay it further. I have to do it, because this is that time of the year where I have dealt with students for past few years. I understand the mental situation of so many of you. I understand now is the time where we are in a state of sometimes confusion or dilemma, sometimes a kind of fear that is creeping inside us, that what next, what will happen to us. In fact, I had in past few years I had talked for hours with students. কেতিয়াবা 1 ঘণ্টা 2 ঘণ্টা পৰ্যন্ত মই ষ্টুডেণ্টছৰ লগত কথা পাতিছোঁ you know I have also talked with students who have been consistent, regular in their studies. They also have a kind of fear, a kind of anxiousness within them. So how to deal with that? First you have to believe in yourself. Many a times we see that people around us see the potential within us, but we fail to discover that. Sometimes we fail to discover that, okay, I am capable of doing a thing. Sometimes we demean ourselves so much that we don't give the first step. কেতিয়াবা এনেকুৱা হয় ন যে আমাৰ ওচৰ পাজৰৰ মানুহবিলাকে কয়, অ'কে মাজনী বাবা তুমি পাৰিবা, তুমি তোমাৰ পটেনচিয়েল আছে, কিন্তু আমাৰ নিজৰ ওপৰতে বিশ্বাস নাথাকে আৰু হয়তো আমি আগবাঢ়ি নাযাওঁ। সেইকাৰণে মই কৈছোঁ যে ফাৰ্ষ্ট লুক ইন টু দ্য মিৰৰ এণ্ড টেল টু ইয়ৰ চেল্ফ, আই বিলিভ ইন মাই চেল্ফ, I can do it. You know, the main problem is what most of the time we are only focused on the result. And that is so much overpowering that we forget the preparation phase. Rather than focusing on result, I think you should focus on what is in our hand. And in our hand, it is our effort. How we are going to prepare, that is in our hand. We cannot dictate the result. So focus on things. The most important thing is what changing the attitude or approach, how you are approaching a problem. Most of the time we repeat patterns. We try the same way, and that is why we get the same kind of result. বহুতে হয়তো নিট এবাৰ প্ৰথমবাৰ দিবা, some are giving it for the second time, some are giving it for the third or fourth time, isn't it? So you will have different kind of experiences. But the most important thing is, if you don't change the pattern or habit. Suppose somebody attempted NEET for the first time in the last year, in 2024. So you have to understand, you have to analyze what were the points because of which you could not crack NEET. Sometimes we need to unlearn things. If we follow a certain pattern, if we follow certain habits, we will get similar kind of result, isn't it? So at first diagnosis is important. What has been the problem, your diagnosis of the problem, then only we can focus on what obtaining of the result, isn't it? বহুতৰ habit থাকে যে okay, I'll cram last 10 years papers যিমান পাৰো common sum and then I'll do. But I think that focusing on that is actually limiting your capabilities. You have to understand that we have to focus on learning the concept rather than focusing on getting common question. It is useless if you do thousands of questions but you don't know how to approach a question. So first you have to change it. Approach and attitude is the main thing that differentiates between how one achieve the results. So I request all of you that first you change your attitude towards your studies. First you have to love your studies. You should not limit your capabilities. এনেকুৱা হয় ন কেতিয়াবা যে এই পৰীক্ষালৈকে মনত থাকিলে হ'ল, so you're limiting your capability. You have to understand that, okay, let me clear the concept. Kyo hoise? Why it is happening, how it is happening, why this and that. If you understand the whys and the hows and the whats, definitely you are going to remember that stuff. If you simply try to by heart certain things, it will have what? limiting capacities, isn't it? So focus on learning the subject or the topic rather than simply mugging up or memorizing it. Definitely we have to remember that thing, but remembering a thing with knowing it and remembering a thing simply memorizing it, there is a vast difference. চ' তোমালোকে সকলোৱে প্ৰথম বস্তুবিলাক বুজি পেলাই মনত ৰাখিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰা, দেন কিপ অন প্ৰেক্টিচিং। you know um, memorizing thing is also a kind of technique. বহুতৰ সোনকালে মনত থাকে, কিছুমানৰ সোনকালে মনত নহয় কিয়? Because maybe they have not cracked that technique. Clear? So তোমালোকে ট্ৰাই কৰিব পাৰা যে মোক কেনেকে মই বস্তুবিলাক বুজি পেলাই মনত ৰাখিব পাৰো। Sometimes you can make your own mnemonics, কিবা গান এটাৰ লগত মিলাই পেলাই মনত ৰাখিলা। These are small tricks, আৰু সেইটো মোৰ কাৰণে বেলেগ হ'ব পাৰে, হয়তো তোমাৰ কাৰণে বেলেগ হ'ব পাৰে, isn't it? So নিজে কেনেকে মনত ৰাখিব পাৰা ন, সেইটো নিজে উলিয়াই ল'ব পাৰা। আৰু সেইটো কেতিয়া হ'ব জানানে? when you study properly, when you research it, uh, preparation is what, it's a process. People only see the results, but preparation is more important than the result. Preparation let us learn many, many, many things. We actually discover while preparation, while during that preparating phase. Now, another important thing I would ask all of you. I have seen in many students that they try to skip the examination. In many coaching institutes, maybe you have taken different test series. There are scheduled tests. Sometimes students, what they do, they skip test in between because they feel like, okay, I'm not properly done. মোৰ গোটেইখিনি syllabus মোৰ properly পঢ়া হোৱা নাই, revision হোৱা নাই, let me revise it completely, let me see the entire book and then I'll give the exam. Please don't do that. you know মই যদি কথা এটা কওঁ ন, নিটৰ আগদিনালৈকে লাগি থাকিব যে মোৰ চাগে হোৱাই নাই নেকি গোটেইখিনি। ইটছ এ নেভাৰ এণ্ডিং প্ৰচেছ। সেইকাৰণে আমি মাজে মাজে নিজকে টেষ্ট কৰি থাকিব লাগে। এই যে পাৰ্ট টেষ্টবিলাক হয়, তোমাৰ ফুল টেষ্টবিলাক হ'ব পাৰে যে মই গোটেইখিনি নাজানো, বাট লেট মি এছেছ মাই চেল্ফ। মই যিখিনি পঢ়িছোঁ, হোৱাট এভাৰ আই হেভ ষ্টাডিড, এম আই এবল টু কনভাৰ্ট দেট, এপ্লাই দেট? হাউ উইল ইউ নো? একদম নহ'লেতো কি হ'লহেঁতেন, আমি একদম গোটেই বছৰটো প্ৰিপাৰেশ্যন কৰি পেলাই একদম ফাইনেল নিট বা JEE দিলোহেঁতেন, isn't it? But in between আমি ইমান প্ৰেক্টিচ কিয় কৰোঁ? Why? Because suppose you give an exam today, you don't know all the topics, you have not studied. The mistakes you make today, when you will discuss those stuff with your friends, you'll discuss that with your teachers, a lot of concepts will be clear. And if such a question comes on NEET, you will remember this. আমি biology পঢ়োৱে ন, memory cells, they remember certain things, isn't it? So don't try to escape from exam now. GA hawk no hawk dia, try to solve the entire paper, and while you are solving it, pura dhunya ke copy loi loba, loi pelai ekdom gurit jaba, go to the root cause, why, how, and then you try to solve the entire paper. In this way, what will happen? Unknowingly, your brain will remember things, accumulate things. So please don't try to escape these exams, okay? And then I was talking about unlearning things. So if you have certain habits, if you were doing certain things last year which was not fruitful, try to change it, cultivate new habits, try to relearn certain things. And the most important thing is, don't make yourself aloof, don't keep yourself isolated. I have seen students where they keep themselves isolated within a room and they keep on studying, and they feel like, okay, I'm giving like 20 hours of my day, but are you giving quality 20 hours? That is more important. So rather than focusing on the quantity of hours that you are spending, focus on the quality. Social contact is so much important. If you're not feeling nice, talk to a friend, talk to your teachers, talk to your parents. If you don't know certain question, you can ask your teacher, you can discuss the question with your friend. To keep that social contact, it is very, very, very necessary. Our brain cannot concentrate entirely for 20 hours in a stretch, We can hardly concentrate for a few minutes. So, in between, those breaks are very, very important. Have a cup of tea or a coffee, have a chat with your friend. In the evening, you can have a chat with your parents, you can tell them what you are studying. So, keep that social contact. Don't make yourself isolated. And we are always open. I tell my students, you can talk to me, you can drop a text, you can call me. Sometimes I may not receive the phone, but I'll definitely call back. So whenever you feel like you are being overburdened, there is things piled up in your brain, just have a chat with your friend or your parents or your teachers. That is very, very important. Just like physical health, keeping your mental health healthy is also very, very important. And don't worry about anything. Don't worry about what your peers will say, what your relatives will say, what anyone is going to say. Just focus on your efforts. Give your 100%. If you feel nice giving the exam, that is good. That happy feeling after giving the examination, that is what matters. It means you have given your 100%. Okay. Now now the time has come that you are to enter into the revision phase. So make a schedule. On this days I'll be doing this, I'll complete that topic. So keeping a schedule will keep a track. And you also feel a sense of accomplishment when you complete one topic. And one more thing, every day you have to study all the four subjects. Sometimes what happens, it feels like I'm weak in a certain subject, and at the end what we do, we keep on studying only one subject. And somehow what happens, because of lack of revision, we also forget many things of the subject we thought we had already done. So it is very, very necessary that every day you make a schedule where you keep all the four subjects. So maybe on Monday I'll study chemistry more. I'll do this and this topics, but at least keep few hours for physics, botany as well as geology. So in that way, what will happen? Equally, everything will move on. Will not panic at the end. So maintaining this kind of balances is also very, very important. So regarding physics and chemistry, it is very important that you know how to approach a numerical. So first, think about that. You have to change your approach. You have to change your attitude towards approaching a numerical. You will not be able to by heart different kind of numericals. So change your focus such a way that you know how to do a question. That will come over time. When you do a lot of practice, it is a method of trial and error. Okay, if already hua nai, if already try korim, that way it will happen. So try kora. uh, it's a journey for all of you. For everyone it will be different. আৰু তোমালোকে কেতিয়া কিমান কি পঢ়িবা, that will be also different for each individual. কিছুমানৰ ৰাতি পঢ়া অভ্যাস বেছি আছে, কিছুমানে ৰাতিপুৱা সোনকালে উঠি পঢ়ি ভাল পায়. So that will vary. And don't try to compare yourself with anyone else. You are unique, and you have to find out a way how you will solve your problems. মোক যদি সোধা, মই এতিয়াও ক'ম যে সময় আছে। যদি মন আছে, ইচ্ছা আছে, চেষ্টা কৰি চোৱাত নো আপত্তি কি। আকৌ এবাৰ ক'ম যে এক্সাম ইজ জাষ্ট এ পাৰ্ট অফ লাইফ, ইটছ নট লাইফ। কিন্তু ধুনীয়া এটা পাৰ্ট অফ লাইফ। আমি চেষ্টা কৰি যদি আমি আগলৈকে ধুনীয়া এটা জীৱন উদযাপন কৰিব পাৰোঁ, আমাৰ মনৰ ইচ্ছাৰ প্ৰফেশ্যন এটাত আমি যোগদান কৰিব পাৰোঁ, চেষ্টা কৰাত কিহৰ আপত্তি। So happy preparation to each one of you. Okay, bye bye, see you soon.